I've been out of the Navy now for 2 years, and there are some things that I wish someone would have told me when I got out. I'm gonna go over a few of those things. So the first thing is, I wish someone would have told me that it would have taken at least 2 years to get my identity back. Like 2 years to really figure out who I am, what I want, and my purpose. You can go and look at the other video of when I was like really sad. When you get out of the military, you don't just lose a job, you lose friends, you lose structure, you lose your identity, you lose just kind of a trajectory for your life that you thought you were going to have. And it's really hard. It's hard dealing with all that loss. And you know, there's the 5 stages of loss, or 5 stages of grief, pretty much. It's like denial, anger, bartering, depression, and then acceptance. Or I think I have it wrong, but you know what I mean. You can bounce back and forth in between each of those stages. So I think I was really just in the depression phase for a long time, and I went to bartering, you know, trying to figure out how I can get back in the military, what I could do to get there. I even called a recruiter and I was like, hey, how do I join the reserves? And basically there's no way. I was medically separated, so I was extremely unwell, so I had to get out for my own mental health. But yeah, it's finally 2 years later, and I have finally figured out how to live my life without the military and how to separate myself from that life. And now I look back on deployment pictures and I'm just fond of those times, instead of looking back at those pictures crying because I'm no longer there. The important thing is just to know that it's going to take a few years to really find yourself again, and just know that it's okay to feel sad, and it is okay to go through all these emotions. You might even feel like you didn't make the right choice, and that's okay too. That's completely normal. You've got to think, when we're in the military, we are thrown into a completely different world. Like, actually, I have a funny story. So the Navy has this motto. It's honor, courage, commitment. So they instill that in us when we go to boot camp, and you're just going to hear about it your entire career. Well, I got a job for the summer working as a surf instructor, and we were like at a meeting, at like a staff meeting, and they said, okay, what are our core values? And I almost screamed honor, courage, commitment. Like, I felt so embarrassed. I was like, and then realized where I was, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I have been brainwashed. So you are brainwashed a little bit. Like, I'm not going to lie. You are really just, you start to operate in a different pattern, different way that they break you through boot camp. And when you get out, you have to kind of rewire your brain into thinking, I am a civilian. It is not normal to, you know, do all these different things that I did in the military, or it's not normal to tell your boss to F off jokingly. That did not go over well. So it's a big transition, and you've got to just know and give yourself grace and remember, like, you just went through something really hard, and you're going through something hard when you're transitioning out. Holy crap, the finances, you guys. When you're in, you have such a big tax break. Like, they don't tax your BAH, and I don't think they tax like your food income, your food stipend. But since I have a big girl job now, and I have to actually be like a taxes paying employee, oh my gosh, like, just to give you an idea, and this is not like reality, but just to make it easy, say I make 100 grand a year. They take out, like, with disability and stuff like that, you have to pay into, and your 401k, which is great, or your TSP or whatever, they take out taxes. Like, I probably bring home $65,000. I would probably bring home $65,000 a year, and that is asinine. I'm sorry, like, I live in California, so maybe it's different, but I love that the government gives military members tax breaks, but when you're no longer in the military, you guys, it really slaps you in the face. Like, an E5 makes more money than I do. So that is something to consider. It is not easy to make it when you're out. You have to pay for your house and your groceries and live like a normal human. And that was a really hard reality to face. I do miss having the tax breaks. So that's another thing I wish someone would have said. Like, you really get slapped in the face with all these taxes. So you're gonna lose a lot of friends, and that's okay. People are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I noticed, You know, a lot of my military friends, like the ones that I like are my soul friends, I'm still in touch with, but that's just the military. Like, people come in and out, and every 3 years you're moving, and so you're kind of used to saying those goodbyes. But once you're completely cut off from that world, like, you really don't know what's going on in each other's lives anymore. Like, it really just does not relate to you. So my biggest advice would be to go out and try different things. Try new things, try new hobbies, join a volleyball team, or, you know, try to get yourself somewhere that there's community. Like, for me, I joined jiu-jitsu, and it was the best decision I could have made, because I was propelled into this beautiful community of other people that like had the similar mindset. Like, a lot of them were ex-military, which is really cool. And they're just go-getters, and just surround yourself with like-minded people, and they will help you through those hard times. You know, veterans, people don't really understand what you walk through unless they are a veteran. And it's just nice to feel seen and feel heard by other people that have experienced the loss of getting out of the military. The next thing is, it's challenging to stay motivated. It is challenging to stick to a schedule and get yourself to the gym and get yourself to work out. Like, you're so used to people telling you, oh, be there at 07 for PT, and that was your life. You were told what to wear at what time where you were supposed to be. And when you're out, you have autonomy over your whole schedule, over your whole life, which can feel really good and freeing. But like, for me, I go to the gym maybe 2 weeks, and then I lose motivation. Military did not give you that opportunity. So that's one thing I also wish someone would have said. Like, make sure that you set up a structure for yourself, because you're so used to having someone tell you what to do that now that you have this authority over your own life, like, you're gonna have to be your own boss. You're gonna have to make the healthy meals. You're gonna have to keep in touch with your friends. You know, it's easy when you're surrounded by your coworkers, become your friends, and you all hang out together, and you work together, and you sleep, and you eat, and sometimes shower together. So just know that you need to make a structure for yourself and stick to it. Like, I really got into the self-development, you know, Mel Robbins, like Joe Rogan, just like really listen to all these people that are successful, and it helped me out because it allowed me to take a few pieces of what they do and implement it into my own life. Whatever decision you end up making, if you get out, if you stay in, it was the right decision, and try to make peace with that. So when you're out, I want you to focus on building a support system, making sure that you have friends and family around you, that when you're feeling low, that you don't go to those deep, dark places in your mind. And when you are sad, just cry and let it out. And when you're happy, be fully happy. Take up as much space as you need to. I think the biggest things are, like I had said, you know, to go over what we talked about was find a hobby, get around a good community, find veterans to get around as well. There's a bunch of veteran groups. Like, there's a whole veteran surf group that I joined for a little while, and networking, you know, there's a lot of veterans that are now in better jobs that can also help you get a better job if that's what you want. So don't be afraid to like jump and chase your dream. I made the mistake of, when I got out, I went immediately into school, which is great. Use your GI Bill, by the way. You get BAH, so you get like $2,000 to $3,000 just for going to school full time. And there's some programs that are like hybrid, so you can do half online, half in person. So that helps you that sets yourself up for, you know, that income. But I jumped into school, and I went to school for I got my master's in cybersecurity. And the reason I did that was because everyone around me was saying, well, this will transition so well, like, this is what you need to do. When in reality, what I really wanted to do was go for psychology, go for counseling, and dive deep into that world. Well, here we are a year later. I have my master's in cybersecurity, which is amazing, but now I'm going back to school for counseling. And if I would have just listened to my intuition and my gut, I could have already been halfway done with the program. So don't listen to what everybody says about what you should do next. Like, you need to sit down with yourself and your own intuition and think, what do I see myself doing for the next 10 years? And don't just go into a job that transitions easily because you were in the military and that's what you did. I did that, and I was freaking miserable. So now I'm doing two things. I'm actually going to school for a functional nutrition degree and counseling. So if you need any nutrition help, shameless plug, I'm your girl. Hit me up on Instagram. But yeah, now I'm doing something that sets my freaking soul on fire, and I'm not sad all the time. And it took 2 years to get here, but hello, thank you. I'm so glad that I worked through all those dark thoughts. And you can too. And I want you to know that you're seen and you're loved, and you have dreams inside of you for a reason, so go chase them. I'll catch you guys later.